Back, guys. In this video, what I would like to do is start working on making our HTTP requests. Here in the previous video, we got to this point, we built out our form, and we are allowing the user to input a category name. So what we want to do is that the moment that the user clicks submit, we want that data to start the process of going all the way to the back end and doing its thing. Okay, so that is what we're going to start working on here, and I have some notes. So to get started, we're going to add some state to our admin dashboard, and we will do that right at the very top at the beginning of the admin dashboard component. And I will say const, and this one's going to be category, and set category. So that would be the method that would actually set or to change the state of the category. And then initially we want to set it to an empty string. And we know that useState is a hook component for React. We have to bring that in here. So we're going to do useState. All right, so now we have useState. Okay, so that's it. And I save that, and let me go to my notes here. So now that we had our state, let's go on to the next. So now we want to add an unchanged listener. So going back to the admin dashboard, we want to add that event listener onto, where do we want to add it? It should be the input. So yeah, okay, if I can find it. Okay, so right here we have our input for the category. So let's go ahead and add that right over here. Let's do onChange, and I'm going to call this handle category change. I know it's pretty long, the description, but I think it's more specific. So handle category change. Okay, so we added that. Now we have to add the event handler for this event listener, and I want to do that, let's see, right above the views and below the category state. So I'll do it right here. I'm gonna do const handle category change, and we know we get an event object for each event listener that's triggered. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this comment here and just paste it right over here, and I'm going to call this event handlers, just like that. All right. Okay, so now that we have our event handler, what we want to do is we want to make changes. So if, let's see here, actually let me go back to here to the input. We actually have to add a name. Yeah, we have to add a name. I'm going to add name of category, and I'm going to add a value of the category. So this way we make this a controlled component. All right. All right, so now going back to our event handler, here I'm going to do what do I want to do? Set category, because this is the method that we're using in order to change this value here for the category. So set category, and let's see. Oh yeah, so we want to do event target value. So as the user inputs, as they're putting in input values or typing on the keyboard, this is going to be triggered constantly during that time and adjust the category value. Okay, so if we save that, as a matter of fact, you know what? Let's see, what should I actually right below it? Let me do a console log, and let me do console log category, just so I can see that it is indeed working. Okay, so over here, click on the console tab, and we're going to pay attention to that. So if I'm typing here, I'm going to do meet. Look at that. You see in the console, dynamically, all this stuff is being console logged. All right, there we go. So that's working good. So now that we have our event lists are unchanged and we're adjusting this category state. Now we have to handle the submission when the user actually clicks submit and we're ready to send it off. So over here, let's see, to add a category. Where's the form? Oh, we got to go to the modal. So right here, we want to add on submit, and we're going to do handle category submit. Okay, just like that. And over here for the button, for the submit button, we want to add a type, and we're going to call it submit, just like that. All right, so if we save that, and let's go ahead and create that that submit handler. I'm going to do it right here. Const handle category submit. This one gets an event object as well, and usually we know we have to prevent the default behavior of the browser. So we do event prevent default. And then now what I want to do is I want to console log category here. All right. Let's see how we're doing here. All right, console's open. I'm gonna do the same thing, enter meet, and then submit. Okay. All right, nothing happens. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I just realized. Okay, so let's see. All right, so for form. Now remember that I said that this modal utility we're using for Bootstrap, and this is if you look at the documentation for it, you'll see that I was kind of applying the same thing that Bootstrap applied, and the form was actually placed in here in the body, in the modal body. But in order to make this work, the way I've resolved it, the way I've come to find out to resolve this issue is I'm just gonna replace or adjust, remove the form here. Actually, I'm gonna copy this, and I'm just gonna place it instead right below the modal content div. Okay, so do that, and let's see. Actually, I'm gonna remove the original form where it was at before, and let me add the ending form tag here. No, or actually it was right over here. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, so again, this form tag, we're gonna wrap it around the header, the body, and the footer. Okay, so this is right after the modal contact. Okay, so just adjust where we had the form tag previously. Okay, so now if we save that, it should work now. So I'm going to add a category, go to meet, and then submit, and look in the console, we get meet. So now it's working. And hey, maybe it's up. Maybe you guys found or figured out a different approach to resolve it. This was my approach. Okay, so yeah, so that's the way I found to handle that situation. Let's see. Okay, so we took care of the Unchanged and on submit listener. We added that, right? Okay, so the next is we want to create an API function here, and that API function we're gonna initialize inside of our handle category submit right over here, and I'm gonna call this function. It's gonna be create category, just like that. All right, and we haven't created that, but we will. and we will create that over inside all of our API methods or functions. And I'm going to create a new folder inside this API folder, and I'm going to call it category, because this is where we're going to place all of our API functions related to categories. So I'm going to do that, and then actually I made a mistake. Actually delete that category folder. All right, delete it. And I actually just want to create a file called category.js, just like that. All right. So let's see. Now we're going to create a function here inside our category.js, and I'm going to call it create category. This will be an asynchronous function, and we will get form data that's going to be passed to it here. And before I forget, might as well just do it here. That data is here in the handle category submit. I'm going to prepare our data. So I'm going to do const data is equal to the category. Okay, and this category is the state data we have over here in our state here. So that's exactly what we want to start sending off to the server. Where are we at? Okay, so right here. So all we have to do now is just pass the data into this create category function. Okay, and save that and go back to our category here. So this is the form data that we're passing in, or the data from the previous. And let's see, this we will be using Axios, so but we have to prepare a header. We do config as an object and press a headers object, and here we're going to do content type and application.json. That is what we're sending along. And next we want to start preparing our Axios. We're going to store response and do await Axios, and then it's going to be a post method, and we're going to make the API route is going to be API and then category. API category. Okay, and then we're going to pass in the form data that's arriving over here, and then the config object. Okay, so remember we're using Axios, so we have to import that. So right above here, we're going to do import Axios from Axios, just like so. And we want to return the response back to where it was originally called, and that is here, our admin dashboard right inside here. So that's where we're going to return that response to. All right. All right. You know what? I take that. Actually, I want to, let me place this inside yeah, actually that's good. All right, cool. So we're going to do that, save. And let's see now we got to get to the server. So we're making this HTTP request, which is sending off to the server. So now let's head out to the server side. Go to our server file, and we're going to create a new route, app use, and it's going to be API category. All right, and the function we want to attach to this, if this route is hit, if there's a matching route with this, we want to call category routes. Okay, we haven't built that yet, but we will, so might as well just take care of it here right now. So we're going to do category routes, and we will build this within our routes directory, and it will be called the category.js file. Okay, so we're going to save that, and we get an error because obviously we haven't built that category route, but we're going to do that right now. So if we go to let's see, right here we got routes. We're gonna create a new file and we're gonna call it category.js, just like so. All right, so here in our category routes, we got to bring in express. I'm gonna do express and require express, just like that. And we want to get, we want to use the router of the express. I'm gonna call it a variable router, and express has this method and it's called router. Okay, that's how we're able to use the router for express. And we have to always export it, so we're going to do module.exports equals router. All right, just like that, and save it, and the error should go away. All right, now we're going to start building out our, let's build out our route, our first route. So this is going to be router.post and /, and we are going to have a controller for this, and it's going to be called category controller. All right, let's go ahead and create this new file inside our controllers, which we haven't created, and call it exactly that category controller, or no, I'm sorry, category, just category.js. Okay, so now within our controller we have off.js and category.js. All right, so inside our controllers here, actually, yeah, we're gonna create we're gonna create that function, our first one. So it's gonna be exports dot category controller, and this will get the request and the response. There you go. And first thing, the only thing we want to do is just to check, do a test and say inside category controller, just like that. All right, and we save that, and I'm going to go back to my category routes, and I'm going to import that here in order for us to use this function here, the category controller. So I'm going to do like this, and we're going to abstract it from require. Let's see, we got to go back one directory out of routes, and then go into controllers, and then category. And we want to destructure the category controller from there. All right. So now we save that, and that should take care of everything. Let me see. Okay, so we created the API function. We added the route in server.js. The server.js, I'm referring to this right here. Okay, that's the route. Mark that, and then set up the router in routes category.js. Okay, right in here. So this is where we're setting up the route for categories.js. Okay, so save that, and let's see, what is this error here? Okay, categories not defined, site admin dashboard 17. Create what? Create categories. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so we have to bring that in here. Okay, so we have to import it. We have to import from, let's see, we got to go back one directory, add components, and then go into API folder, and then the category file. All right, and then this is where we want to pull out the create category function. All right, so we're going to save that, and that function or that error should go away. Good, there we go. All right, so pay attention to here. This is the final test. We're going to check the console to make sure that we get the message that says inside, wait, I forgot what it was called right here. Insider, well, not, it's inside category controller. Okay, save that. All right, so let's test it out. And let's do desserts. Submit that. Okay. Well, no, we haven't sent back a response on the backend, so that's why nothing's occurring. But if we look in the console, look at here, inside our category controller. All right, so that's it for now. I will see you in the next video.